Hey everyone! Today we're going to be doing a Peanuts cartoon design featuring their short film. It's The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. And this is going to be a short nails design. And I started off by stripping the previous design. Last design's video, I used strictly regular polish, so it was easy to remove with acetone. Now I'm going back in with my OPI base coat and I'm going to be applying this liberally to each nail. I wanted to say first, thank you so much for my returning subscribers, and for my new viewers, please consider subscribing, share, like, hit that notification bell button for future videos, and I'm hoping that you enjoy what I'm putting out for you today. Now I'm taking this Insta Dry by Sally Hensen, and we're applying a nice coat on each nail. This is it covers fairly well, so we only need that one coat. And you want to be sure to get that base coat underneath because when it comes to dark colors like this, they tend to stain your natural nail. So I was thinking of something cute to do for the month of October, and I do love watching Charlie Brown, so I thought that I would share with you guys my rendition of The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown film. And I'm sure most of you guys have seen Charlie Brown in one way or another. They usually have the Thanksgiving and Christmas short films as being the more popular movies from Charlie Brown. But if you look into it, they actually do other holidays as well. So I'm using Born Pretty stamping polish. This is great polish to do if you're doing designs like this that need to dry fairly quickly. And here I'm taking some of the orange and I'm making shapes for the pumpkin. And at the same time too, these stamping polishes do apply on pretty opaque, so you won't really need more than one coat when applying these nail polishes. And I actually here for the pumpkins like this a little bit translucent because with my brush strokes it's making the shapes of the humps of the pumpkin that I'm going to later define with a detail brush and some black stamping polish. So moving on to our first character, I'm not too great with names. So this is the bird. And if anybody can correct me below as to what this bird's name is, leave a comment below. But I'm pretty much just blocking out the color shapes of this character. And I find it fairly interesting that the way that I'm doing this design today is a little backwards. So I guess in drawing you tend to draw the outline of your subject and then you fill in the color. Here I am applying the color and then I'm going to be drawing up the outline after the fact. So hopefully this technique will translate pretty well in replicating these characters. So we will see. And it kind of helps that my backdrop is like the night sky, so it kind of acts as an outline already. But I'm going in with some sweet tea, Sally Hensen's Miracle Gel, and this color like is in my other character drawings on my nails have been for the skin. I mean, I'm using up what I have. This isn't the color that I would probably like to use, but it's close enough, amazingly. So I'm just going to be using this. So it's very like weird just doing the outlines without drawing the outline. So I am definitely using regular nail polish. I'm a little freaked out trying to get these shapes down right the first time because, as you know, if I screw up on this, I have to just wipe down the whole design with acetone, and I really don't want to have to do that considering I've already put like 4 layers on this. When using gel polishes, I do like using that in drawing because if I do screw up, I can still retain the background layers, and I just need nail cleanser to wipe off the area that I had screwed up. So I was really trying to get the shapes down and kind of not being too strict with it. I do find that when I'm just chilling out and just, laying down this paint here, without thinking too much about it, I think it comes out way better than if I were to kind of stress and try to make sure that each brush stroke I made was perfect. So here on my thumb, I didn't complete the pumpkins that I did on the other 4 fingers because I was trying to allow the moon to dry. Now the moon is, I think, a lime green kind of color, which isn't the color of the moon. I think in the cartoon it was like a very light yellow. But again, I'm just using what I have without having to mix any colors. So now that this bird here has dried, I'm using the black stamping polish to outline or define the character. So I'm outlining, not only am I outlining, I'm going to be adding his eyes, his mouth, and I'm going to be putting lines on this pumpkin as well. So that part's fun. There's no rhyme or reason. I just want to outline these chunks and see what the brushstroke does. This isn't going to be like a real pumpkin, so just faking these lines wasn't such a big deal for me. Moving on to our next character, we're going to be moving on to Charlie Brown. Now, this is the main character, so not only do I have to try not to screw it up, I definitely need to try to make it look like Charlie Brown as close as possible. This is where the nerve-wracking feeling comes in because, again, like if it was pencil and paper, I can probably do a really good job. I mean, this is different medium and definitely a different canvas, so I don't know how good I could possibly be, that being also that it's, 100 times tinier than a piece of paper I would draw on. So trying to get this to look like such a famous character is nerve-wracking. But I think it's okay. Like, you could see his face. It's not that bad at all. So we're just going to go with that. Then moving on to the next character, we're going to be, again, I'm really bad with names. I want to say this guy's like Pigpen or Linus. Or Linus is the piano player. I don't know. I am so bad with names. But I think it might be Linus. And now I'm like drawing a real blank because I can't remember the one that plays the piano, and I'm not too sure that's even the kid that plays the piano. So, oh dear. This is terrible. Yeah, I don't know who the heck this girl's name is either. This is like not even. I'm just not having the greatest time. This is actually my second video for tonight, and I'm trying to fit it all in so that I'm not going to be scrambling this week to do the voiceover. I have 3 classes this week. I've signed up for some classes and I've been taking them a few weeks now. So if you can imagine my schedule, I try, even though it's way past that time right now, it's like 10 o'clock, but I try to sleep on a Sunday or every day, every day, 8 o'clock, so that I can wake up at 4, and then I can go to be at the gym by 5, and then I will be at work by 7:30, and then do that till 4, and then I'll have to come home. I have classes 3 nights a week, between 6 and 9:30. It varies each class, but I am definitely kind of running out of time to do things, so I definitely want to get this voiceover out of the way, um, so that I can have this ready for you guys. Again, in my last video, if you have not seen it, I'll put at the end of this one. But I'm doing 2 designs this week because next week I'm going to be doing a full set. That's the left hand and the right hand of a basic French tip with a little twist, because I can't just have it basic. If you have any ideas of what to do with a French tip, leave a comment below. But I'm having this like professional lunch that I want to look a little bit more presentable than having the slash nails and Charlie Brown on the other. Uh, we're gonna just go with a basic French tip, and as I said in my previous video, I don't know if I'm gonna be doing like a French tip blocking. I did see like some real cool silver cat's eye that I want to try out, but I don't know if I want to necessarily do that. I was thinking of maybe encapsulating some design in the shadow blocking. So I gotta figure stuff out. I really don't know, to be honest, but we'll see. So I'm adding some leaves to my pumpkins. They're in a pumpkin patch, and they would have leaves. When you see the pumpkins at the store, they're not there anymore because they've cut them all off. So here I'm just putting some random leaves here and there. And then we're going to define this later with black stamping polish. So now on to the iconic Charlie Brown character. We are, or I am painting Snoopy right now. He is going to be laying on this pumpkin here. And I'm realizing that doing these characters were fairly easy because the shapes are very simple. Definitely not anime, so I'm not super stressed doing these. But it's really cute, and I can't believe I came out with this stuff right now. Just because these are so iconic, and the pressure to get them right is there. So I'm coming in with my sweet tea to finish off the arms and the hands of Charlie Brown and the rest of the crew that I can't remember their names. Oh my gosh, it's terrible. Um, but yeah, and if you Google their images, I mean, their hands look horrible. So how about that? Like, I think when you draw cartoons, I mean, let alone realistic pictures of humans, the hands and the arms, they're like the hardest things to do, I feel like, because not only do you have to have them look similar because they're arms and they should be the same length and shape, but they have your hands attached to it, your appendages, to where, you know, obviously you need to draw those perfect, and they're imperfect because they bend here and there. You know, they're not super straight fingers. No one has super straight fingers. There's like knuckles in them and there's bends in them. And so those are like the hardest pieces. But then when you look at the images for this, for Charlie Brown, they really, I mean, I don't want to say it, but you know, they're drawing because their fingers are just insane. They're not really like fingers, but it's a cartoon, so it doesn't matter. But what a way to go if you're like an artist, you know, working on these cartoons, and all you gotta do is just kind of draw sausages that look like fingers. I mean, that's a lot less stressful than actually having to draw it right with the right proportions and everything. At any rate, yeah, so doing these characters, I'm finding that it's fairly easy compared to what I thought it was going to be, because these shapes are just so simple, that you just, you know, look at the photo, size it up, get the proportions right, and, you know, it is fairly easy to try out. So if you guys want to try this out, don't be afraid of it. Just tackle it and then see what happens, you know. Um, you never know until you start doing it, and then you realize that you can. Because this is like my first run, you guys. Like, I didn't pre-draw this like I did with the anime. I didn't have time, you know, the chance to you know, acetone or nail cleanse mistakes out. This is my first run, and I'm pretty shocked at how it all worked out. Now, are each character to proportion? Nope, not at all, because, you know, Snoopy's big on my thumb. Meanwhile, you know, the bird on my pinky should probably be a lot smaller because he's a small character. But you know, it's still pretty good for the sizes that they are in. So now again, I'm taking the black stamping polish and I'm defining these leaves. I'm just going to be using this black polish right now to further define my designs, or the characters. I didn't start out by outlining these characters, so like I said, this is going to be the last thing that I do. Um, and it's very interesting, and it's actually less pressure to outline everything, because some of this stuff looks fine without the outline. And I don't think that if I started drawing the outline first before the color, I would have done as good of a job as I'm doing now. So I find that very interesting. Moving on to our last bit here, I'm outlining the accessory and outfit of this character here. Apologize again, names are slipping my mind. But I'm adding some definition and some polka dots because she has a polka dot dress on. And I'm going to come in and define her arms and fingers, or attempt of fingers. as they do in their images when I googled them. And she's got a worried look on her face, not too fond of the whole Halloween thing. I just don't like people jumping at me out of nowhere. I think I can handle, like, I watch a lot of, every month I watch horror movies, gory, scary movies, and I just don't like people popping up from nowhere that I, either in the dark or in the light. But I think that's anybody. So here I'm taking some OPI top coat and I'm just generously laying this down over each design, because if you put pressure on that brush, you're going to drag that stamping polish and it's going to smear your whole design, and we don't want to ruin all the hard work that we did on here. So when you work with stamping polish, just be mindful of how you put your top coat over it. There's no real way, unless you can tell me, leave a comment below how to apply it nice, but I just put on a nice layer and go very gently with my brush. So here I'm putting some cuticle oil by Gelish after this all has fully dried the next day. You want to make sure that that nail polish is all nice and dry, because you don't want to smear your own work either. So there you have it. This is Isms by Josie. Please share, like, and subscribe for future videos. I hope you've enjoyed my Charlie Brown nail design. Please join me next week when I attempt a basic French tip, not being so basic. Leave a comment below if you have any ideas on how to get that done. I'll see you again next time. Thanks. Bye.